The book of Sirach, chapter 25 and 13. Give me any plague but the plague of the heart, and any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman. Mother dismembers her daughter in 8 body part as neighbors looked on. Shalom Yashala, peace Israel, Kohalor Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kodash. It's the brother of Baal Gabar from the Camp Prophets in Babylon, Tampa, Florida. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone who do indeed teach and rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect scattered abroad doing this work in truth and in sincerity. And Salakia ahead of time for my voice. I'm going through a little sickness, so Baba Kushah, bear with me. But this right here, man, is some disgusting, vile, wicked act of this woman, man. Right? And she appears to be an Israelite woman, which we're going to start seeing a lot of vile and wicked acts, man. The love of many is going to wax cold. When there's no more food in the stores, people will revolt to cannibalism, man. As the scriptures say, there's nothing new under the heavens, man. Nothing new under the sun. You had women in the ancient world eating their sons and their daughters, man. Right, actually, that's a curse in Deuteronomy chapter 28. All right, that fell upon the Israelites, which the Israelites are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. We are the Israelites. All right. So this woman, obviously had demons on her, man. Mass amount of demons, a legion of demons, to where she literally stabbed her daughter to death and ate her, man. And I believe you can read the article. I believe she was eating her liver or some shit like that, which is just beyond wicked, man. Grab this. I'm just going with the spirit, so Baba Kushab, bear with me. This is Lamentations 4 and 3. It says, even the sea monsters draw out the breast. All right, and sea monsters like, dolphins, manatees. All right, when it says they draw out the breast, meaning they care for their young. Even a sea animal is going to care for their young. Even the sea monsters draw out the breast. They give suck to their young ones. They nurture their young ones. The daughter of my people is become cruel like the ostriches in the wilderness. And if you know anything about ostriches, what they do is they'll, have eggs. They'll bury the eggs and they'll end up stomping on them. Okay, being very careless. And the Lord likened the Israelite woman, the daughters of Zion, likened them to ostriches, man, because they don't really care for their young. And we see a perfect example of that right here. I mean, what kind of, detrimental demons you got on you, man? And, at the end of the day, this is all judgment from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai on both ends, man. Even as sad as it is, the daughter that was, killed and eaten, that's judgment from the Lord, man. I'm gonna grab that real quick. 1 Samuel 2 and 6, it says, Yahweh killeth and maketh alive, man. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. So everything ultimately is in the hands of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And that's why the Lord is to be feared, man. That's a terrible judgment. As a child, imagine, your mother eating you, man. Stabbing you to death and eating you, man. And that's why the Lord got to come back, man. We're going to see a lot of this. A lot of these women going to end up eating their children, man. Hey, even fathers. A lot of these fathers going to end up eating their children, man. Right now, we got food in the stores. You can go buy your food. This woman ate her child, man. And there's not even a famine here yet. All right. Hey, Shalom, Brother Kassad. He had dropped Hebrews 10 and 31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. All right. It's a fearful thing. All right. And, sad enough, this daughter fell into the hands of the living power, man. And she was eaten by her own mother. And that's a curse. All right, so let me get the curse. Which we know that Deuteronomy 28 is the curses that came upon Israel. Deuteronomy 28 and 53. And thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, which Yahweh thy power hath given thee, in the siege and in the straitness, wherewith thine enemies shall distress thee. And this is coming all over again. In the time of Jacob's trouble, in the time of anarchy, complete lawlessness, when there's no more food in the stores, people will revolt to cannibalism, man. Like you had the guy Alex Jones said, I'll eat my neighbor. If it came down to it, I'll eat my neighbor. And really, that's the mentality of these Americans. If it came down to it, they'll eat their neighbor. And you just better hope that you're not the neighbor, all right? You don't want to be on that plate. Because this is coming on a mass scale, man. All right, so that was one of the curses. And one of the curses is that thou shalt eat the fruit of thine own body, the flesh of thy sons and thy daughters, man. And that happened in the ancient world. I'm going to get an account. Let me grab this real quick. It says Matthew 24 and 12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. So the love of many is waxing ice cold, man. You know, this is right here. This is some off the wall, bizarre stuff going on right here, man. Mother dismembers her daughter in 8 body part as neighbors looked on. I mean, you got to have some heavy demons on you, man. All right, let's get an account real quick where you had, there was a famine in Samaria, you know, and you had, you know, women, Israelite women, eating their own daughters, eating their own children, man. This is 2 Kings 6 and 25. And there was a great famine in Samaria. And behold, they besieged it until an ass's head was sold for 80 pieces of silver. All right. You know, so an ass's head, a donkey's head, man, was being sold for silver. And the 4th part of a cab of dove's dung, bird shit, for 5 pieces of silver, man. So people were, that's how bad the famine was. And that's coming to this land of America, man. That people were actually buying a donkey's head and bird feces, man, for food. For food, man. So how much more here in America when they shut the lights off, man? It says, and as the king of Israel was passing upon the wall, there cried a woman unto him, saying, help, my lord, O king. And he said, if the Lord did not help thee, when shall I help thee? Right? If the Lord ain't going to help somebody, at the end of the day, you can't help nobody that the Lord ain't going to help. It says, out of the barn floor or out of the wine press. And the king said unto her, what aileth thee? And she answered, this woman said unto me, give thy son, that we may eat him today, and we will eat my son tomorrow. So these 2 women in Samaria were communicating about eating their own sons. Said, look, I'm going to eat my son. We'll eat my son today, and then we'll eat your son tomorrow. It says, so we boiled my son. That's what they do, man. They boiled their sons. There's nothing new under the heavens. It says, so we boiled my son and did eat him. And I said unto her on the next day, give thy son, that we may eat him. And she hath hid her son. So these women were literally eating their own children, man. And this is coming back on a full scale. Cannibalism, man. even upon the heathen, man. Let me grab that. This is 2 Ezra 15 and 58. They that be in the mountains shall die of hunger. All right, coming into the time of Jacob's trouble, chaos, and eat their own flesh and drink their own blood, for very hunger of bread and very thirst of water. So we're coming into a famine of biblical proportions, man. All right, famines of biblical proportion, and what are people going to revolt to and resort to is cannibalism, man. All right, this is why we're going to need Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai. And ultimately, the Lord is going to be with his elect. All right. So let me close it out with a few scriptures. I'm not going to make this lesson too long. Not really much to say. But that this is coming, okay? It's going to increase. Let me see. Psalms 33 and 19. To deliver thy soul from death and to keep them alive in famine. The Lord's going to keep his men alive in famine. All right? Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. So at the end of the day, the men of the Lord, the elect, they don't have anything to worry about. The Lord is going to feed you. The Lord is going to keep you safe. The Lord is going to keep you comforted during the time of Jacob's trouble. Job 5 and 19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. But that's another thing. We're also going to see this, man, only with thine eyes. We're going to see this take place. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles, yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. So the Lord is going to redeem his elect from famine. Right? The elect aren't going to be eating their own children. But for the wicked Israelites out here, the Lord is going to appoint you to that, man. It says, verse 22, at destruction and famine thou shalt laugh. So the Lord is going to have a spirit on his men to laugh at the destruction and famine. Neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth, man. All right, so the Lord is going to be with us. You know, just a quick lesson in the spirit. You know, mother dismembered her daughter. You know, some wicked, vile things are going on, man. Give me any wickedness but the wickedness of a woman, man. All right, we're going to start seeing this increase. The careless daughters of Israel, man. She's going to be trodden down as the mire in the streets. Ultimately destroyed. A lot of our women, a lot of our 2/3 of our people are going to be destroyed, man. Lamentations 4 and 9 from the brother Kassad. They that be slain with the sword are better than they that be slain with hunger. For these pine away, stricken through for the want of the fruits of the field, right? It's better to die by a gun or a sword than to die of starvation, man. You know, your body starts pining away, starts eating itself from the inside out. You start hallucinating. Hey, that's what's going to happen. People going to be so hungry, they're going to start hallucinating, man. And they're going to see their son and their daughter as a chicken wing, man. All right, so, hey, this is the time to, you know, really get close to Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, because we entering into evil times, man. As the scriptures say, an evil and only evil, behold, is come. We're entering into Jacob's trouble, man. All right, so with that, call hello Yahweh Bashmi Yahushai, Lord willing, and edifying to the